What is up, everybody? My name is Parker Ament.
My name's Danny Ferrari.
And we are Excellent Sound. We are 1 week away from the early access release of Gorilla.
Yeah.
This is the final remake
This
that
is
we're
the final
doing.
remake.
And
Well,
I think it's our favorite.
It's not the final remake. It's the final one. We got some stuff planned.
Don't be doing it again,
then you're
dude.
lying. You're telling lies. You're sitting on a throne of lies.
I don't want to lie to the people.
This is the last project file that will be available.
Okay. This is the last project file. So you guys are getting about 6.5 Ableton project files.
Seven.
Seven.
You're getting six
seven.
remakes and one remix.
Yes.
Of Rumble by us.
Yes. So we're super excited for all the bonus content.
Absolutely.
We've been telling you guys over and over what all of the bonuses are. I think we're going to have to tell you guys one more time.
One more time.
Right?
Okay, right? So you're going to get 6 Ableton project file remakes that we've already done the past videos, okay? You're going to get 1 remix project file of our remix of Skrillex's Rumble, okay?
Yep.
You're going to get a total of 425... Nope. You're going to get a total of 475 Serum presets, okay?
Crazy.
250 in Gorilla and 225 in the Redacted pack that also is the bonus, okay?
Yep.
Over 2 gigabytes of samples and sounds and loops. You can do whatever you want with them to write some amazing stuff. And then what else do we got, bro?
This is a production suite, you guys.
That's huge.
Okay? We have so much shit going on. You know, it's hard for us to keep saying this to you guys. So go down below, click the link in the description, and sign up. There's only 7 more days left.
Yep.
Check out everything that we have going on. We're even doing a giveaway.
Yeah.
We're even
Huge
doing a Gorilla
contest.
giveaway.
Yeah. $2,500 worth of gear, man.
Yeah, man.
So
and
a ton of
a
stuff.
gift card.
A gift card, headphones.
Some headies, dude.
Some headies. You get some heady.
Yeah, man.
You like that?
Oh, I love that.
We finally have all of the information about Gorilla is now available on that link in the description below. So if you click that, you're going to be able to hear some of the sounds. You're going to be able to hear some of the presets.
Yep.
You're going to hear some of the loops. Of course, all the bonuses that are included to the first 1,000 that purchase.
Yes.
I'm excited.
And the final thing before we get into this remake, because I know you guys want to hear all this crazy sounds. I know you want to hear the full remake.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting there,
We're
okay?
getting there.
The big news is
Right.
we're announcing the price of Gorilla.
Yep.
So if you guys want to see how much it is, go check it out in the link below.
I think you're going to be happy.
I think they're all going to be very happy,
I would be
dude.
happy. Yeah.
I'd be stoked.
It's a great value. So, all right, cool. Let's jump into it, bro.
Let's do it.
All right, dude. I'm so excited to jump in this. Now, I think this is the first time we've ever remade a song that is not out yet.
Yes. Yeah,
right?
it is.
So
this
it could
is the first
change,
one, officially.
Right? I'm obviously more excited about Gorilla, but this is the next most excited thing I'm excited for.
Yeah,
Okay?
for sure.
This ID of Skrillex and Virtual Riot, we call it Second Sky because I think that's where he played it the first time. This song is so good, and I think we really, really killed this remake. We're going to be doing 2 sounds because this is a special remix. We're going to be giving you 2 sounds just because there's a lot of sounds involved, and there's tons of stuff for us to go over in the actual drop and some of the production that I think that you guys are really going to learn a lot from. I know it was really, really cool and kind of a cool sort of understanding of how, especially Skrillex, I think, writes his drops. Interesting stuff about where sounds are placed. And of course, like those two together, like those are the two of the
dream
goats.
team.
Yeah, man.
It's the dream team.
So I cannot wait for this to come out. Shout out Virtual Riot. Obviously, we're huge fans. And of course, Skrillex. This song is so, so good. I cannot wait to hear it. We couldn't wait, so we had to remake it. I mean, people did that with Rumble, but no one's done this yet, but we did. So we're super excited. Let's jump into it. We should play what we're going to be doing.
Yes, show them.
Okay.
Show the people.
Guys, just hang with us. We promise you're going to want to hear this, okay? We remade the whole freaking thing, so the beginning stuff, all that stuff is there. If you get the project file, it's all in there. But here it is from the drop. Here it comes.
I like this when it goes down here.
So sick, bro.
So crazy, dude.
The mix of melody and of course like the hard-hitting drops, and this is such an interesting, like the way it's produced is so great. You
It's
know?
my favorite kind of bass music when it's melodic but also aggressive too. It's the best mix.
And they have these great fake outs and like this call and response in the beginning of the drop, you know, this whole right? You know, we remade everything. So even the vocal chops, we did that. And of course, Gorilla itself has tons of vocal chop tools for you guys and vocal chop loops for you guys to use. So you guys can, and all this style, right? Okay, so I want to talk about this sound that we're going to be remaking, okay? So the sound that we're going to be remaking, it was kind of hard to choose because there's so many great sounds in this and they're all kind of doing different things. I wanted to remake this first sound, but it's like 3 layers. I'll show it to you guys if you want. Of course, if you get the project file, you can kind of dissect it yourself. But essentially, we're going to be making this sound, that sound in collaboration with this sound. Right? Okay, so there's an interesting thing that happens. If I solo these drop noises, they sound cool by themselves, but they're placed in their perfect spots for them to essentially all be working together. And Skrillex and Virtual Riot do this a lot. He'll take a sound, right? And then what he'll do is he'll change the LFO shape or even the rate of it sometimes. And then he'll piece it together like this amazing little puzzle. And then you get this kind of cool sort of phrasing, I think, that happens.
Totally.
Like this badum, like that's not one sound, that's 2 sounds. This sound that we're going over. That's 3 sounds, right? You know, you got the spitter sound too. And all these presets, again, are available in Gorilla, plus tons of other original sounds that we came up with for you guys that you're going to love. It's just like a little spit, you know, like...
Yeah, and I think that's a huge thing about advanced producers.
Yeah.
You know, is they are able to do that.
Right.
And when you're first starting out, it's hard to hear like the difference between a different sound sometimes, you know? It could be just a macro or it could be you're scaling it down like that.
Right. Yeah, you might just have just a certain portion of the sound be there just for a second, you know what I mean? And I think that's why a lot of producers, I mean, we're doing this with MIDI, but a lot of producers use audio.
Totally.
I think, because the audio manipulation that you can do, a lot of reversing too, which sounds like a slower LFO too.
I feel like it's a little easier to do with audio too.
Definitely is, because you can resample a bunch of different weirdness if you're turning knobs, and then you get this like specific element, you know, which makes it so much harder to remake. Shout out us to be able to do that.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into these sounds. So we're gonna start with this sound first. Okay, the rock and the downloads are in the description below, and I think there's a wavetable too. Great, solid, just scream sound, right? Very, very useful. The reason why I picked it is it's kind of the most repeated in the whole drop. This sound is so cool. So I got a initiated patch set up right here for us. So let's start with that. Sick. All right, cool. We're gonna go ahead and pull up Serum, and it's actually fairly simple, believe it or not, okay? We have a basic saw shape, just like so, okay? You're gonna go ahead and you're gonna make your first LFO. It's gonna look a little something like this, okay? Little shark fin simping down, right? Okay? Little humper right here, okay? Set that to envelope and set that to quarter. Your second LFO is going to be sort of a pitch envelope, which is just kind of pitching up real quickly. Set that to envelope and set that to 1/8 notes. All right, so now that we got our LFOs made, let's go ahead and turn the oscillator A all the way down, okay? And we're gonna apply LFO 1 to the level knob at this shape, okay? It's kind of more of a plucky shape. Pretty simple. You can kind of hear the side chain going on, but you can pretty much get the idea. So now that that's good, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and apply a high-pass filter. Now, something that's kind of really cool about these high-pass filters with these really big resonance peaks is you can get a really vocally sound with really, really large resonance peaks. You know what I mean? If you're bricked up like this resonance is right here, that's a fucking morning. That's me in the morning, bro.
That's a wall, dude.
That's me for Gorilla. Gorilla, dude.
That's me right now waiting for March 15th.
Yeah, dude. Right through the covers. When March 15th arrives, dude, you better be waking. Yeah, you better be waking up like that. This better be your bed right here, dude. So set the cutoff to 2489, set the resonance to 74, drive all the way down, frequency all the way down, mix all the way up. Make sure A is going to it and it's set on key tracking. And go ahead and put B in there too because it feels great, right?
Feels great.
It does feel great. All right, so now that we got that, let's hear how this sounds. Kind of a little bit more resonant, peaky, I guess, in a way. So we're going to take LFO2, actually, and we're going to go ahead and apply it to the cutoff, okay? I'm going to bypass it, but you want to make sure it's going bipolar, so make sure it goes both ways. Option or control click, I think, on Windows, and set it to 91 going forward, so positive 91. Wop, 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 wop. Nice little whopper right there. Whopper, 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 whopper. Okay. And then also we're going to apply LFO1 to the resonance knob, okay? The resonance knob is set to 74% and make sure that's set to 43. There's that little vocal thing I'm talking about. And it's
almost like a yoy.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Very close to doing a yoy, right? While we're here, let's go ahead and initiate a sub. We like to give subs in the presets so you guys can use it. If you want to use a dedicated sub, you could take it out however you feel necessary. We're just going to use a regular sine wave, and we're going to go ahead and apply LFO1 to that and set that to 90. Beautiful. And then we're going to go ahead and add some noise. We're going to use AC Hum 1, and we're going to go ahead and apply LFO1 with the level all the way down to 41. little bit of hair in there, huh?
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Now, it sounds just kind of like a cool saw. I love sounds like this that are like the screamy sounds that are just made from like a basic saw. I love it, right? It's all going to start coming together in the processing that we're about to do now, okay?
I feel like they're more clean like that, too.
They definitely
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sometimes complex wavetables get kind of dirty. So
yeah, dirty and mud.
Yeah, I always like to start from like a clean source, like a clean
I agree, man.
basic shapes. And I think some of the best sounds are made that way, you know?
Totally.
But obviously, like there's power in
wavetables.
In wavetables, yeah. So the first thing we got is a tube distortion. You're going to go ahead and turn it all the way up. Turn up the drive and the mix. That already sounding like kind of... Remember we talked about the fundamental of like the Skrillex sounds, right?
Yep, bringing it back.
That's the fundamental... You know what I mean? It's like the fundamental Skrillex scream, but it's improved upon. You know what I mean? It's gone through the generation of the evolution.
The 20th century.
The 20th century, yeah. This is also a popular technique. A lot of people do this. I see Virtual Riot doing this quite a bit on a lot of his patches, is applying a low-pass filter after a very heavily distorted signal, right? So go ahead and apply LFO1 to the frequency knob, but make sure the frequency on the left is set to 89, and then go ahead and apply that to 29. Make sure your Q's at 60, and make sure your gain is at 11.8. It's going to move that little notch, right? There's always like a little notch like this. And then on the right side, we're going to set the frequency to 168, the Q down to 33, and the gain at noon. You're going to go ahead and apply LFO1 to that and set it to 100. Gives it a little bit more barkiness. And then we're going to take that signal and go ahead and try to change it a little bit with this comb filter. We're going to get a little bit more metallic sound. We're going to use a comb minus filter. Set that to 63 hertz with the resonance at 40, drive down, and the mix all the way up. Now it's sounding kind of chomperish, a little bit more trenchy, to be politically correct. Is that
Tranche.
Don't say the R word, dude.
It's the T word, dude.
No, you're allowed to say. You can't say.
Oh yeah,
the
you
R
can't
word
say the
anymore.
R word.
You're appropriating, dude.
Yeah, people will get canceled over that.
Anyway,
Moving on.
Phaser, another popular trick for a lot of these sounds with Skrillex and Virtual Riot. Make sure the rate is all the way down. It kind of turns it into more of a filter when you do this. Depth at 24, frequency at 199, feedback at 80. That's pretty high. And the mix down at 0. Go ahead and apply LFO1 to the frequency knob. Make sure it's going back and forth and set it backwards to -10. And then, of course, on the mix knob, we're also going to be applying it there. We're going to be set that to 38. A little bit of width, a little bit of coloration, okay? Hyperdimension. This is kind of cool, too. A big thing, too, is I see the rate up pretty high at 76 and the detune at 77. Unison set to 7 and the mix at 27. I'm going to turn down the mix so you guys can hear what this is doing. A little bit like more screamy or detuned, right? So set the dimensions mix to 23. Makes it kind of really kind of wide and metallic.
It's kind of like blurring the sound a little bit.
Kinda,
you know what I'm saying?
It's like phasing it or something. Yeah. And then we got a chorus. Again, adding just kind of using this as more of like a metallic sort of vibe at 7.6 with the rate. The delay is at 1.1. Delay 2 is at 0.7. Depth at 6. Feedback all the way down. Low pass filter all the way up. And the mix set to 30%. Gives it that tail end width at the very end, which is kind of interesting. More metallic making. We got the linked set for the delay. Make sure the feedback's all the way down and set this to 66.52. Set it to normal and make your filter look like this. And set the mix at 5%, really small. And then, of course, a nice little bit of multi-band. This is stock, so go ahead and do that. I think it is, yeah, 4:1, 90, 90, and then 7.8. Now it's barking, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go ahead and hear it so far without the processing in context, okay? Not loud enough, but we're getting there, okay? So let's go ahead and add, basically what we're doing is, it's pretty simple. We're just going to be adding our excellent fat rack. Now, when you guys get Gorilla or you get our packs, we really try to make it so that they sound just freshly good and also give you the ability to manipulate them if you are those producers that like to start with like some shitty-ass sound in Serum.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people do that. Like if you turn off all the shit in like VR stuff sometimes, like in some of his like songs when he's like going through it, it's like, it sounds like ass.
Yeah, it's like undercooked.
Yeah, it's undercooked, but it's like, oh, this is fine for now. And then they make everything with the processing. So if you're one of those, you could do that too. Don't worry. And if you don't even make this style of music, don't worry. It's a multi-genre pack. Am I right?
Yeah, I feel like the excellent fat rack too is like the proof that the sound is good.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because if
it's
it's
just
a shit
expanding
Serum preset and you put the fat rack on, it's just a louder shit preset.
Exactly.
This
This rack is only specifically used to make it louder. So we're just using that with a little bit of stereo and fat all the way up. And then a low cut to cut out the lows. Oh, we forgot something. I forgot to apply a very, very important piece. So we got to go ahead and add the master tune, okay? So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to use LFO2 to modulate the master tune, okay? So right now, you're going to go ahead and apply LFO2 in the matrix right here, and then you're going to go ahead and set it to master tune. Make sure it's going both ways. I'm going to bypass this so you can see. So we're using this LFO, and that's going to be set going backwards to -18. So we got the master tune on, and there's something that we kind of forgot is I didn't have the cutoff in the correct spot. So what's kind of cool about this patch specifically is that you can essentially move this. And you can essentially get a higher pitch because of that resonance peak, which is kind of sick. It's like the pitch modulation is coming from this. So if I just play it by itself with the cutoff at 227 and also applying LFO2 to that at 100%, right? The sound is a lot more higher pitched, right? So we did the master tune thing, but really what you could do is you can apply a macro over here, right? And let's say, I don't know, you could pull it all the way up if you wanted to, but if I move this, there it is at 19%. You can go higher, but I think ours is probably like, the money zone is like set to 27.
Nice.
Set it to 56% if you're matching us, right? Okay. So this is a really, really cool tool to get some different type of pitches, right?
Totally.
I didn't even realize we did it when we made the patch, to be honest with you, but like I thought it was the pitch was coming from the master tune. But to use this to kind of get a different way of pitching sounds together is really, really cool, right?
It's really huge.
If I take off key tracking.
Yeah.
You could hear the difference in what it does. Okay, cool. Okay, so now that we got that sound done, again, link in the description for that one. Let's go ahead and get into this next one, which is this sound right here. Woo!
Oh, I love that. It's like a
I love
gunshot.
that. Yeah,
like,
it's so sick.
oh.
Let's hear it in context. Nice. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and jump into this sound. We're going to go ahead and start with an initiated patch. I'm going to turn this one off.
This is a bonus sound for you guys
Double
at
sound.
home. Holy shit.
Double bonus
When
round.
was the last time we did this?
Haven't done 2 sounds in a while. But I feel like you need it in order to get the idea of like the production of it. You know what I mean?
For sure.
The sounds just happen in their just a small moment, right? And they're just there just for that quick
Look at
moment.
this cascade, bro.
Cascade, dude.
Cascade.
Okay, so you're going to go ahead and input our wavetable that we gave you guys. I think it's called like Excellent Triforce, right? So we got this wavetable right here. It's essentially triangle wave that gets all crazy, okay? So we got a bunch to do. So first thing first, you're going to go ahead and input your Excellent Triforce wavetable in there. That's included in the download description below. And we're going to go ahead and set our wavetable position all the way down to 1 and set your level to 75% so we can just hear it. I'm going to turn oscillator B off. Nothing going on, right? Okay. Let's go ahead and make our first LFO. Okay, our first LFO is going to be a shape like this. We like this, call this the whale LFO, right? It's a nice little cute little whale.
Whale of O.
Can I ask the editors to do something? Because every time we do now, they make a remark how they don't get paid enough. But can you add a little smiley face, little 2 eyes and a smiley face? Shouldn't be too hard, right?
Call it a whale of O, dude.
Like a cute little whale, dude. A whale of O.
I see it, dude. Whale of O right there.
Guys, can you do that for us, please?
Come on. Thanks.
Just do it.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
see it already.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that hard to do.
It's right
You can
there.
just Photoshop. Yeah. We'll get into the other ones later, but let's set that to trigger. This one's a little bit more of an advanced sound, so I'm going to try to get through it fast. And set to 8th note, okay? So we're going to go ahead and apply LFO1 to the wavetable position. Okay, go ahead and set that to 100, okay? Interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and turn the level down all the way, and let's make our second LFO. Our second LFO is going to be shaped like this, okay? A little bit more Humpty Dumpty, if you know what I'm saying, okay? Make sure that's set to envelope and set that to quarter. And I'm going to go ahead and apply LFO2 to the level knob, okay? And I'm going to set that to 100. Beautiful. That's how it sounds so far. Don't worry, it's going to get better. Now that that's good, let's go ahead and initialize oscillator B. Okay, we're going to use oscillator B, and it's going to be a basic shape or a sawtooth wave. We're going to go ahead, and I think we're going to use FM from B over here on oscillator A. I'm going to set that up, and I'm going to set the FM to 17%. And I'm going to apply LFO2 to that FM. Okay, I'm going to bypass that. That's set to 12. So let's go ahead and adjust oscillator B's octave to +2. And let's go ahead and set the semitone to 7, okay? Now you say, Danny, that sounds like shit. Yes, it does. But what we're going to do is we're forgetting one important part, right? Which is what we talk about a lot, is these sounds have a lot of sync in them because they have interesting pitches and harmonics. And sync essentially adds more harmonics, which it kind of changes the tune a little bit, even though the fundamental is still there.
Yeah, it moves it up.
So oscillator B, go ahead and set the warp mode to sync, no window, and set it to 33.25. Okay, it's getting a little bit more mustardy,
wowie,
right?
dude.
Okay, let's go ahead and initiate our noise and use ARP circuit. Okay, it's an analog right there. And go ahead and apply LFO 2 to the level as well. Set that to 15. Make sure the level's all the way down. Okay, and then also, it's just kind of interesting, we're using the pitch, essentially, in the noise to essentially modulate. So we're going to use LFO 1 to modulate that pitch. I'm going to go ahead and set that to noon and set that to 28. And then we have a sub oscillator. Now, this is going to be controlled with a different LFO altogether because the shape of the sub, we were using a dedicated sub for this. This doesn't, you can follow along with this if you want. Sometimes it's cool to have a little bit different length on your sub if your sound is a lot shorter because you want that bass. Right?
You want that bounce, too.
Yeah, exactly.
The nice release.
So creating an envelope like this with essentially an eighth note and just kind of like, this is like an old massive sort of like envelope shape. You know?
Totally.
Set it to envelope and set it to LFO 4. We're going to use a parabolic sine wave, and I'm going to go ahead and set that to 100. I got my low cut still on, so let's turn that off real quick. There, you can hear that. We got a little bit of processing on the actual group racking, so I'm going to turn that back on. But yeah, so that's why you can't hear the sub. So now that we got that, let's go ahead and change some unison here. I'm going to go ahead and set this to 4 waves of unison on the oscillator A and set the detune to 0.22. And make sure the random is all the way down, okay? And blend is set to 75. And then on oscillator B, we're also going to set that to 4 waves of unison with the detune at 0.22, the blend at 66, and the random all the way down. There's that sound that we're looking for. That sound, that specific mode, essentially with oscillator B, is creating this like phasing effects because all of the unison of waves are starting at the exact same point, which creates this really cool lasers, like lasery shit, you know?
Yeah.
That is the crux of the sound. Without that, it causes that. And the FM with it is even sicker, right? Really, really cool little technique. I do this quite a bit now, especially if you're trying to get those like tear out gunshots or those virtual riot. He loves doing these things.
All the way down.
Right? Random all the way down. Detune about halfway and the blend up. Okay, that's going to give you that. And then FMing into that. I was kind of trying to do it here. You could do it here with just this oscillator, I think. Yeah, you can kind of hear it, but it's better having it FM into it like this. You could really hear it, right?
It's a nice laser sound.
Really cool laser sound. We got another LFO to make. Let's go ahead and make this so that we're ready for it. Let's go ahead and make our LFO 3, essentially a ramp down like so. Envelope set to 32. And then for LFO 5, it's going to be the same shape, but we're going to set that to eighth and also to envelope. And we're going to get into that in a second. Now that we got that, let's jump into the effects because we got some effects to go through.
Before you get into the effects, though, we got to tell them about the patrons.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry. We didn't forget about you, patrons.
They think we forgot about them.
Nope, never.
But we didn't.
No, we did.
So on Gorilla's drop for the early access, we're doing something special for Patreon, okay, you guys? If you want to be a part of that, join the Patreon, okay? And for all the patrons that are already patrons, you guys are getting something real special.
Yep.
Real special.
Some exclusive stuff that other people are not going to be able to get that they're going to want because trust me, in the next coming weeks, you're going to see something and you'll be like, oh, is that part? No, it's not part of Gorilla. It's just for patrons.
Yep. It's really, really exciting.
Really dope. All right, so jumping into the effects, we're going to go ahead and use a soft clip distortion. We're going to turn the mix up and turn the drive all the way down, and we're going to apply LFO 2 to the drive, and we're going to set that to 100. A little more dirt on there. Let's go ahead and apply our first filter, which is going to be a phase filter. Okay, this phase filter is going to be a phase 36 plus. These are really cool to kind of create that sort of classic-y, phaser-y, growly sounds, right? Really useful for like those Skrillex-y old style growls, right?
Totally.
Set the cutoff to 35 hertz, the resonance to 49, drive all the way down. This all the way down. I don't even know why there's something on that. And then the mix to 36%. And we're going to go ahead and apply LFO 2 to the drive knob. We're going to go ahead and set that to 51. And then also apply it to the mix knob and set that to 29. Now, to get some more movement, we're going to go ahead and apply some more LFOs to this actual phaser. So we're going to use LFO 1 on the cutoff of the phase filter, set that to 39, and I guess it's on here. And let's go ahead and do it anyway, right? Because it's got to help. Set that to 13 if you want to follow along exactly, okay?
Yeah, dude.
Big difference. This knob right here.
Huge.
Yeah, we're leaving it. Turn it all the way up. Fuck it. Perfect. Okay.
It doesn't even say anything under it.
But it's there. We left it on. Oopsies. Next, let's go ahead and use our hyperdimension. Okay, hyperdimension, we're going to go ahead and turn our rate to 40, our detune to 25. Mix all the way down, size all the way down, mix all the way down. Okay, so first we're going to go ahead and apply LFO 2 to the mix knob. We're going to go ahead and set that to 51, and then also to the mix knob on the side of the dimension and set that to 28. Kind of makes it more growly in a weird way.
Yeah, dude.
I love doing that sometimes with the mix, like using LFOs.
It's probably the voice unison, dude.
Yeah.
That's why it's doing it.
Yeah,
it's adding to that lasery.
Yeah, kind of. But it's not re-triggering, though. You could do that unison trick with this, too, with the detune and fucking around with the rate and shit. But I don't know. It's like re-spreading. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
But it makes it sound more chompy.
Yeah.
Next, we got another phaser because why not, right? Okay, we got knobs that don't even do anything and we're automating them because it matters, right?
Because this is an advanced Serum tutorial.
This is an advanced Serum tutorials, okay? Let's turn the phaser rate all the way down, thus making it more of a filter like this kind of above, like we got, right? It's kind of turning it into that. Turn the depth to 40, frequency to 232, feedback at 80%, phase down to 17 degrees, and the mix all the way down. We're going to go ahead and apply LFO2 to the mix knob, okay? And we're going to go ahead and set that to 24. And then we're also going to go ahead and apply another LFO, so LFO1 to the frequency knob, and set that to 30 sevs. Beautiful. All right, next, let's go ahead and apply a multi-band compressor. All this is stock, and then set the gain to 6.7. Oh, yeah.
Cutty.
Nice cut, dude. And then, of course, we're going to do a little bit of simple delay trick, very, very short delay at 55.6 on the left and 50.62 with feedback all the way down. And the mix at 11% with this type of filter shape. Not much, but a little bit. A little character.
It's there.
It's there. And then for the EQ, we're going to go ahead and essentially turn our frequency to 131, our Q to 63, our gain to 11, and set it to a low cut right here. I'm going to apply LFO1 to that, and I'm going to set that to 17 to get a little bit more growly. A little bit more chompage, right? And then on the right side, we're going to go ahead and add just a little bit of notch right here, a little bit of low Q at 38. Frequency is at 2664, and the gain at 6.6. And then we're going to apply LFO2 to move that little notch backwards to kind of get a little bit more vocally sound. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that and set that to -12. Beautiful. Now, we're almost there. We got a couple more LFOs we got to do. And I don't know if I did these, like if they're both on the master too.
Did two
Why not?
bends, dude. Yeah.
It might be. I don't know.
Let's go.
Let's see if it matters. All right, so for LFO3, you're going to go to the matrix, and you're going to apply LFO3 to the master tune, and you're going to set it to 22. Make sure it's just going forward. I'm going to unbypass that. A little bit more laser.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's real nice.
Yeah, so that one definitely does something. Now, this one on LFO5, okay, this downslope, let's see what this one is doing. All right, so LFO5, we set it to the master tune, and it's set to 1. Oh, I know why we did this.
Why?
Because to match the original tone, it sounds like it pitches down a little bit.
Nice.
So there's a reason. Yeah, I knew what I was doing.
Got him.
Okay, so the first reason is the first master tune essentially is making it a little bit more lasery, right, and have a little bit of pitch modulation.
Yeah.
And then this one essentially is the sound in total essentially is sounding like it's changing pitch a little bit.
After the fact.
That's why we did this, right? This is going both ways, just like me and Parker.
Yep.
It's set to 1. It kind of changes the end of it a little bit, right?
Totally.
It also might be bringing it back into tune. Sometimes I'll do that too. Like sometimes we'll put multiple stuff on the master tune to kind of like bring it back into tune. But this is more like remake sort of stuff. Or if you want your own sound, like sometimes you might want to tune it specifically to a certain note, but you can use a lot of different LFOs, coarse pitch, master tune. Like you could do a bunch of different stuff on there. Like there's no rules, you know what I'm saying? As long as we get to our end result, which I think we did.
For sure.
Here.
I think so too.
All right. And lastly, let's go ahead and apply some fat rack. I'm also going to show you guys in just a second because I want you guys just to get an idea of how cool these sounds are. I'm going to show you a little bit of the first sound, just kind of show you the layering. And if you guys want to see like a video on that, it's probably a little bit more in depth, but it's kind of interesting, I think.
I think it'll be a good video.
I think so too.
Yeah.
But it's not what you would expect, right? So for this, we just have another fat rack, just added on with a little bit of low cut. You guys can get this in the download description. This is all Ableton stock. Don't have Ableton, I'm sure. It's basically just some multi-band compression and some saturation.
He's saying this every time, but you should get Ableton. It's not the same. Okay? It's not the same. Danny's just being nice.
I'm being nice.
You know?
I'm trying.
It's okay. You're very nice, dude. It's okay.
Am I nice?
You're very nice,
Thanks,
dude.
You're nice-ish. Well, let's hear how it sounds now. That fatness. All right, that sounds sick. Let's hear it in context real quick, all right? Those sound so sick. And then there's this little burp noise too here. It's just like so simple, right?
Yeah.
I think it's kind of made similarly to the other sounds too. So that's what's kind of cool about these sounds is they're all kind of similar. Now, before we jump out of the video, I just wanted to explain, like again, like really make sure you guys understand that there's a lot of different sort of sounds that are happening here, and they're all playing their perfect little part, right? Right, you have a sound like that, right? And then you have a sound that's just like, I think these are like kind of just like noises, like. You know, it's like rhythmic. So when you guys are producing this style or trying to create like really cool like Skrillex and Virtual Riot style drops, it sometimes could be a lot of different sounds and you're piecing small bits of them into the puzzle to kind of create something sort of new. And that's why they use audio a lot. But if you want to do it like us, you know, MIDI is also really, really powerful in different ways too.
Yeah, audio is a lot faster, I think, moving around.
Yes.
Just physically it is. But dude, if you mute this guy right there and then play it.
Yeah, or
you know what I'm saying?
They all matter.
That's the main idea, and then they're adding all of this other stuff to it. You know what I'm saying? That's the main rhythm, and then they're adding all of the bonus like fill sounds.
You wouldn't even really notice it. You know what I'm saying? Without like actually like going through and remaking it. That's why remaking is also really powerful and educational. Which is why you guys should get on the Gorilla Early Access so you can get this project file.
Yep.
So the last thing I wanted to show you is this sort of bass right here. Now this bass is like your classic Skrillex one-shot bass, right? It's like. Right? It's crazy, okay? So a lot of different pitch things going on when we were remaking it. As opposed to making it one sort of sound, we essentially layered 3 different sounds, 2 that are similar like this. This is one that's called To Vow with Love from us.
To Vow with Love.
You know who that is?
Mm-hmm.
Right? A little bit of frequency shifting happening too. That's just to match it. You don't really need it. Right, it's just kind of your classic sort of rhythmy, sort of Skrillex-y, sort of square, a lot of square FMing going on, right? So that's kind of one of the first sounds, and then the second sound layered on it is something like this. It's like that gettery sort of, definitely FM using, I can already tell.
It's a nice layer too, together with the first one.
This is very Skrillex-y and Val. It's like very much a basic shape square, and then using saw and using sync quite a bit in different semitones. Right, so those 2 together. Kind of sound a little out of tune from each other, which is kind of interesting. They might even be playing different notes.
Yeah.
D sharp and F. Yeah, okay, right. So this isn't something that happens all the time, but I just thought this was interesting. And then this is my favorite layer, is this. It's such a dumb sound by itself. But in context, in context, it's everything. If I took it out, cool, but this... I don't know, to try to match.
It kind of ties it into these other sounds a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure they probably just had one sound and they just made it. I think it's just kind of interesting way of sound designing, getting your head outside of like, you can't have 2 notes that aren't the same note to layer on top. Like if it sounds cool like this bass does. It's sick. You know what I mean?
Super dope.
So it's kind of interesting. I just wanted to share that with you guys because I think it's really cool. But that's it for us, man. I mean, we just went over it. We did all the remakes. We did everything we said we're going to do. This is your last chance for Gorilla people.
You guys have 7 more days to join the early access to get all of the bonuses that we tell you about every single day. Go sign up right now and get ready for March 15th.
That's right. And we got the contest so you can win a ton of free gear. Of course, all these sounds. Our best work yet. I promise you this is our best pack yet.
Hands down.
Hands down, our best pack yet as far as the amount of content and the type of content. We worked really, really hard in trying to give you guys our best. Stay tuned to the channel too for more videos, right? So if you're catching this video a little late, you still might have time to get on the early access. There's a lot of people already on there and we want to make sure that we can get this to everybody. So yeah, I think that's it, dude. Subscribe, like the video, comment what you guys want to see next from us. Let us know what you guys think about some of this layering techniques and stuff and how we did as far as this.
And we'll see you guys on March 15th at 12 p.m. PST.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And if you guys have not heard this song yet, you best go look it up. There's an idea of it somewhere that you can hear. So I kind of want to play a different part of the song.
Yeah, do it.
Play
it
from here. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for watching.
I love this.